Hi, welcome to video 2 where I'm going to walk through creating a Google document and a little bit more about organizing folders in your Google Drive. Notice that in my previous video, I was kind of cut off around 5 minutes, so that's something good to know about Screencastify. If you choose to use that, you might only be able to record in 5-minute increments. Where we were before, we had come into the folder, we had created a Google Doc, and it opened up this document for me. The first thing that I recommend doing is giving your document a really unique title. A lot of times people go generic and they might say, homework assignment or something like that. But as you get more and more documents in your Drive, and as you guys know, when things have been shared with you in your Drive, it starts to get really overwhelming. So the more specific you can be with your document title, the better. All you have to do there is just type or click where it says untitled document, and it'll begin to allow you to type in there. So I'm going to be highly specific with this and say, this is my sample Screencastify Google document for 3/25/20. Right? And then that way, when I come back to my Drive, if I need to search for this information, I can, rely on that super detailed title in order to find it. Also notice that once I've titled the document, it's gone ahead and it shows up in this folder. So for example, I've left Google Drive. I need to come back to it at another time, right? So like I've come over here, I've come back into my Drive. It brings me to my home page. I now want to find that file. So what I could do is I could search for sample Screencastify, and then boom, right there it is. I click on it and it'll open for me. Or I can go back through my folder system like we did before. Remember, I did my Google Classroom example folder. I can click into that and boom, I'm back to where my document was created. So back into the document itself, now you can just use this like a Word document. Some of the formatting features are a little bit different than they might be in Microsoft Word, but almost all of the same features are available. You just might have to look somewhere else to find them. So if I were creating the most basic document to put into my Google Classroom, I might say, again, give it a title, right? So sample Screencastify assignment. I recommend putting a date on it, right? So I'm creating it today. It's going to be due for my students on Friday. I'm going to give myself an instructions part where I can explain to students what the instructions are. And let's say I want them to read an article, right? So step part 1, maybe, and again, you can format this however you want to. Read the article below. Part 2, answer the questions that follow by typing your responses, etc., etc. I can then go ahead and link an article. So let's say that I want you to be able to use Screencastify. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Screencastify site. I'm going to find the exact passage that I wanted you to read. For simplicity, we're just going to stop here. And I'm going to go ahead and link it in. So what I did, I realize I'm moving really quickly. A couple different ways. You can highlight the URL, copy it, and then come over here and paste it. And what I'm doing is I'm using the right click button on my mouse. So if you have 2 buttons at the bottom of your mouse, I'm using the right click one to paste it. Another shortcut that I really like to use, so of course I would paste, right? Another shortcut that I really love to use that I find useful is if I have this all highlighted, I hit Control C, and then I come back to my document and I hit Control V, and that's using my keyboard for that shortcut. But again, don't get hung up in all of this. I'm just trying to provide you as much information as possible. Then, when you are putting this in your Google Classroom, students can click into that link, and then you can start to type questions below. So for example, what is Screencastify? Do you see yourself using Screencastify? Why or why not? I'll see you in the next video.